Sarah, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that I would make with you guys some homemade bread. We love this bread recipe in our family, and I've made bread on here before. It's been a little while, so you kind of have to go back into the archives just a bit, but this bread recipe is actually fairly similar to the one that I've made before, but I do really like this one. It actually has potato flakes in it, which I think is kind of fun, and I think it adds to the moisture in the bread. But today, I'm not just making regular sandwich bread. We are also going to be making cinnamon swirl bread, so out of the same recipe. So anyway, I thought we'd just get started with that. I'm using my Bosch Universal Plus. That is the machine of choice today. Whenever I'm making a fair amount of dough, I love to use my Bosch mixer. I got this one from everythingkitchens.com. The girl who owns the company is a friend of mine from years gone by, and we're still friends today. She's actually in my wedding. So anyway, yeah, so we're gonna be using the Bosch today, and we're just going to start out with actually, I'm going to be doubling this recipe. So instead of 5 loaves of bread, we're going to be doing 10 loaves of bread. And so since I'm doubling it, I'm going to be using 2 cups of sugar. I just want to put some bread in the freezer, and I think I want to do half of them the cinnamon swirl and then half of them just plain. So 2 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of salt. If you've watched my Azure standard co-op haul, I guess you could call it, I get my sea salt and from Azure. I also do get the sugar. This particular one I don't think came from Azure standard. I think I got it from somewhere else, but it's the same natural sugar cane. So anyway, I do that, and then let's see if I think I have enough yeast here. This yeast is actually from Azure standard as well. My last haul I stocked up big time.
Guess what?
What?
I was making my dirt bike, and I like the air between my armpits. And then guess what? I totally said I like the air between my wings.
The air between your wings? That's really funny. So I actually got a bunch of more yeast from Azure as well. I think I got like 5 pounds of it this last order, so that'll replenish my supply here, because I'm going to be using 6 tablespoons of yeast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh.
Oh no! 5.
I have a little parrot behind me. All right, we are gonna have to open up the new bag of yeast. Let me go grab that. So what I usually like to do is just, now that I'm opening this up, because you can see it's a big sack of yeast.
Hi guys!
Hi, sneakers. It's a big sack of yeast, and that's kind of hard to manage. So what I usually like to do is just sort of decant, if you will, decant it down into quart-sized jar that I keep either in my cabinet or in the freezer. Okay, 5. We just need 1 more tablespoon. So there we go. I'm just gonna set this behind me so that I can do that in a little bit. All right, next we are going to use 1 cup of the instant potato flakes. Alrighty. And today I'm using avocado oil. We're going to use a cup of avocado oil. Wow, just enough. Now that's gone. You can use olive oil, canola oil, you know, whatever oil, mild flavored oil. Okay, that's done. And then we're going to have 8 cups of warm water that we're going to add to this. Really? Okay guys, so I have my 8 cups of warm water. Basically, you just don't want it too hot so that it kills the yeast.
Mama.
Yes. Oh, candy cane.
I want to try one.
Have you not had one yet?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Don't you want to have it after lunch?
No.
Or dessert? No?
Okay, I'm going to put the lid on my mixer, and then I'm just going to turn it on and mix the sugar and the yeast and all that together. All right, and then we'll let this sit here for about 5 to 10 minutes until the yeast does what it's called blooms.
Why did you get these for Christmas ornaments?
Yeah, you can put candy canes on the Christmas tree. So the yeast is going to kind of puff up and look bubbly, and that is when it'll be ready to add our bread flour. All right, let's see what it's looking like in here now, shall we? All right, that is what it means for the yeast to be all bloomed. You can see that it's just nice and bubbly, and now we can start adding in our bread flour.
I need help. I'll help.
Okay, so essentially we're going to be needing about 22 cups of bread flour, just because I'm doubling the recipe, remember. So, 1, woo, poof, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Stickers are starting to eat my candy cane.
7, oh my,
Howie.
8,
Yes, look at him.
9,
I want
oh
top.
my. You guys, I hope this actually fits in this mixer. I've never done this recipe doubled. Oh my goodness. 11, right? I think we're at 11, okay. Oh my goodness sakes.
Oh!
All right, don't you dare touch anything there, sir.
I'll put it on.
Okay, put the lid on for me. I don't know if this is gonna work. I shouldn't try these things in front of the camera, should I? Doubled recipes. All right, let's see if we can mix this in. We're really gonna be pushing it if this works. Oh my. All right, we're gonna add in 12. I'm gonna have to go back for more flour too. 12. Oh man, 13. 14.
15.
And that's not quite 16.
16, no.
But we know we're gonna use it, so I'm gonna put that in there. And then I'm gonna have to go back to my flour bin and fill up again. Okay, I'm gonna go refill, and then we're gonna see if we can get the rest of the dough, flour in here so that we can knead this dough for 8 minutes. Otherwise, I may have to like divide it in half and put some in my KitchenAid. Guys, I think that I would advise you to just do the normal size recipe. All right, let's see if we can add any more to this. Oh my word, it's so full. So I just refilled my flour bin. I'm actually running low on bread flour, and I'll be refilling soon, restocking soon, I guess I should say. I typically get bread flour in big sacks from Sam's Club. So I think it's in a red bag, I think. All right, 16, right? 17, oh my. Woo. 18, let's see how that goes, and if we can add more, we will. Otherwise, I may be dividing this a little bit. This is hilarious. Okay, oh my goodness sakes. This is hilarious.
What's your name? Macaroni.
This is so funny.
Yeah, macaroni. Guys, do you have macaroni? Yes.
Do as I say, not as I do. All right, guys, so I'm back. I divided some dough out here, so I think we can finish up here fairly easily. I'm gonna add in another cup here, and we can finish up our kneading process. Let's see how that's looking at. It actually looks really pretty good. You just want it to start cleaning the sides of the mixer, and so I'm going to put this now for 8 minutes, and it's going to do its mixing thing. And I'll probably add just a dab of flour to this, not very much. It's actually about where it needed to be. Hey Siri, set a timer for 8 minutes.
Well, can I tell you something about your name? Not first time you said it, I thought you said.
All right, guys, so I have all of my bread dough in this big, ginormous bowl here. And what I'm gonna do is just take a towel and cover the top, and we're just gonna let it, whoops, let me get a bigger towel here. We're gonna cover the top with the towel and just let it rise until it's double, and then we can divide it all off into 10 loaves of bread. So that's gonna take up quite a bit of time. I probably should have just done 5, but you know, live and learn. I've only been making bread for how many years now? Many. Anyway, all right. I'll see you guys again when this dough is doubled. All right, guys, are you ready? I have a ginormous bowl of dough. And it is ready for all these loaf pans that are in front of me. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just flip this onto the countertop. Isn't this fantastic? Oh my goodness, I love this. So when I was college age, I worked at a bakery for probably, I don't know, about 5 months or so. Anyway, I loved that job. It was so fun to handle all of the dough in huge batches. It was so much fun. All right, I've got this cutter. This is just an Amazon basic one. But anyway, you're just gonna cut the dough in half, cut it again. It's so much easier to cut it with this. I also will just like take my hands and squeeze it, but apart as well. Oh my goodness, I've got an itch. It's itching. Don't want to touch my nose right now. Oh my. All right, let's see here. We want 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so we're gonna need one more. And I do have a dough scale so that I can kind of see about how much each loaf is gonna weigh. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but if you've got it fairly close, then it's gonna bake a lot better, and you're gonna have more uniform of loaf. So let me see here. That one's 605 grams. I think that is close to what I do when I have half of a recipe, when I have the regular recipe. Okay, so if you noticed, I just got all of the balls of dough about the same, and I'm just gonna take them. This is something I actually learned at the bakery that I worked in, was this tucking under of the dough and then going like that. We did all kinds of dinner rolls that way. Remember them coming off of the conveyor belt or down the conveyor belt in the size portion that they would need to be for dinner rolls, and then you take them and cup them and make them into the roll shape and then pop them onto pans to proof, put them in the warmers. It was always fun. And of course the place smelled amazing, and we would make sticky buns too, which was also really delicious. All right, so there we go. Right, we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then here's 10. Okay, so I think what I'll do, make up the regular bread first. And these are my favorite pans. These are the Norpro, and does it say the size? It's just your regular size bread pan. I love these bread pans, but I only have 4 of them. I desperately need some more because they just bake so well. The other ones that I have are these glass Pyrex ones, and they bake okay, but they're just not my favorite. So, all right, what are you up to? No, don't get too wet. It's not.
It's just the syringes.
Okay, I just said don't get too wet.
I'm not getting it.
All right, so just flatten it out. And I like to pummel it a little bit. Pummel it a little bit and get the air bubbles out, and then I just shape it like this. Okay, and that's that. Just take your loaf pan and pop it in. You can also go like this. If you have any frustrations to get out, it's awesome time for that. I loved working with bread dough, actually. Especially a white dough. I've made plenty of whole wheat bread as well in my time, but there's just something about that white dough. It rises so well. It tastes so good. And I just love how puffy it is and fluffy. All right, there's 2. So there is all of our just regular sandwich bread pans all filled and ready to rise. And now we can work on our cinnamon bread, and that is going to be delicious. So we're going to just pat it out. I think I'll actually roll it. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little roller pin here, and that'll kind of get out the bubbles as well. All right, there we go. Now, here's the goods. So what we're gonna do is just sprinkle it with brown sugar. It's almost like making a cinnamon roll, basically. And put cinnamon on it. And then we're just gonna drizzle it with butter. So it really is very, very similar to a cinnamon roll. Okay, and then we're just gonna roll it up. And I just sort of tuck as I roll. This is gonna be so good. Cannot wait to eat these. Oh my word. Okay, and then I'll just put that right there in the loaf pan. All right, I'm gonna do up the rest of them very much just like that. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do with this bread before it's going to do its final rise is I'm just going to take it and I'm going to poke holes in it. Sounds hilarious, right? But that actually gets rid of any air bubbles. Just kind of allows them to escape. So I just poke a bunch of holes in my bread. Don't worry, they hardly show up once it's all risen. Let's see, was this my other? Yeah. All right, we're just gonna take a towel and cover these over, and they will rise for a while. Oh. That's my pumpkin pie beeping there, so I'm gonna go check that out. So I'm just washing my dishes real fast. Basically just the bowl that the bread dough was rising in. As you can see, it's a very large bowl. But what I wanted to show you really quick is, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these Scrub Daddy sponges. This is the best sponge to wash any kind of dough with, because you see the dough on here, it just pops right off, okay? Like, so nice. It doesn't ruin anything. A lot of times when you wash with a regular rag, not this particular one, but any other washcloth, the dough will just stick to it terribly. And you're lucky if you can get the dough off of it. Same with like any green scrubby sponges. You'll pretty much just ruin your green scrubby if you're going to try to get red dough off with it. It will gum up on there and you will never get it out. So, pro tip, get these little Scrub Daddy sponges. I got these on Amazon, I'm sure, but they're not that expensive. They last a really long time. The cool thing about them, if you're not familiar with them, is that if you run them under cold water, they are hard. And if you run them under hot water, then they're like this nice, soft, spongy feel. So, anyway, kind of cool. But I just love that I found that that can wash the bread dough off of my mixer, my bowls, the spoons, anything. And it just does so well with it as compared with any other wash rags or sponges that I've tried. Like even this one, I didn't mean to start washing with this. I actually really like this one, but see how it just gets all like gummy? I'm sure you guys have had that experience before. That does not happen with Mr. Scrub Daddy, okay? So get you a Scrub Daddy. All right, guys, the bread is ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna get the first 5 loaves and pop them in here. So here's one. Another one here. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pop them in the oven. It's at 350 and we're gonna cook them for about 20 minutes or so. All right, shall we check out the bread? It looks good to me. Here's loaf one. This one might even be good too. Sometimes I'll leave the glass ones in just a dab longer, and I think I will too. Pop the glass one back in for just about 5 more minutes so it can get a little browner. All right, here's our cinnamon bread, and we're gonna stick that in the oven now. And I'm just automatically gonna put it for a longer amount of time. Like I said, I really love the North Pro bread pans. And I definitely want to get more of them. All right, I'm gonna set it for 25 instead of the 20, and we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, let me grab my oven mitts. Okay, in the meantime, let me grab our bread here. Come on. There we go. Pop that out of the pans. And here's the one in the glass pan. Okay, looks so good. All right, what I have here is just some melted butter, and I'm just going to brush it over the top. So you don't have to do this, but it does make them nice and shiny, and it does keep the top soft. The other thing that you want to do, and I learned this recently, but it makes sense, is basically instead of waiting completely until the bread's cool, like even until tonight or whatever, to bag it and put it away, you actually want to bag it while it's a little warm yet. And you don't have to, you can just bag it loosely, I guess. And then you just pop it in the freezer, and once you thaw it, it's just going to be almost just like it just came out of the oven. So that's a nice little tip there for you guys. And here is the white bread, the white sandwich bread. And then our cinnamon one is baking, and I will show you guys that when it's done. All right, so in the spirit of keeping it real, watch this. Ah! Did you see that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so basically the sugar, see, leaked over in a couple spots, and got a little smell going on here. It looks so good though, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. There it is. Ooh, looks delicious. I'll give it just a minute to cool a bit, and then we'll get it out of the pans, and then. Well guys, there is our bread. We've got 10 loaves of both sandwich bread and also cinnamon bread, and I know that the family is going to absolutely love that. It's probably going to be gone pretty quick. I'll stick some in the freezer and then keep some fresh. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will leave the recipe probably, or some of the instructions to how to make the bread down in the comment box below. So we will see you guys next time, and until then, be blessed, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.